Hello, and we're here to talk about, was Piccolo really a kid at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z? All right, so some things we have to know with Piccolo is let's pick it all the way back to Dragon. They got the evil King Piccolo, and the evil King Piccolo is defeated by Goku. Goku, he takes him out with a dragon fist and everything, and before he goes down, he lays out an egg, and this egg is supposed to be like him reincarnating himself almost, where he's actually putting all his memories and essence inside this egg. And the egg hatches and everything, and the egg is like this little baby Piccolo. Like he's like just born. And 3 years later, we started getting ready for the World Martial Arts Tournament. And this Piccolo, he's like eating fish and everything, and we're like, oh, okay, so he's still little. And then by the time he get into the tournament, he's like all tall and everything. We're like, hey, wait a minute. This Piccolo is like all in like 3 or 4 years old. What's going on here? He ain't supposed to be tall like that. But he just tall. He can make himself tall and everything. And he just got all the memories of his dad and everything. And so then he goes ahead and fight Goku. You know how that goes with Dragon Ball. And now we do a time skip, which has to be at least about 7 or 8 years at best, where like Goku and Chi Chi, they get married, and then Goku has a son named Gohan who's like about 4 years old. So the funny part about this is that we know that Piccolo is out there training Gohan and everything, and the weird thing about it is we notice that they develop a friendship, even though Piccolo is like supposed to be like a bad guy technically, like he's not supposed to be like the good guy, but he is a kid too. So he's like all of like 11 years old. Like he got to be like 10 or 11, something like that, because he's not that old. So he just looks like a tall adult, but he's like not because he's like a kid too. He's like the age that Gohan was when Gohan fought Cell, which is crazy. So that's just funny, and something to note is that Piccolo is not like an old grown man dude. Like if you started with Dragon Ball Z, you would assume that, but if you like watch Dragon Ball and you just see him get an adult appearance in like 3 years, which made no sense, and then you get to kind of see that like, okay, well, this makes this is explaining this. This also explains why that Piccolo was a lot different than like the bad King Piccolo. Why he ended up being a lot different in the series. Like he just like, okay, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna be bogus, but I'm gonna help. So that would explain that he was basically growing up and trying to get his own sense of identity. And you can make the argument that when Piccolo started switching to the good guy side, he was going through his teenage years. And so he was already rebelling, going through his edge lord phase. That's why he was an edge lord. He was like literally a teenager, like 11 kid, whatever you want to call it. But that's pretty much it. We'll keep that short. Yeah, Piccolo was definitely a kid at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, and was a kid for some time in Dragon Ball Z until he was a teenager, and then he was a teenager for a good majority of Dragon Ball Z, which is crazy to think about. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you disagree. If you agree, let me know. I want to hear it all. All right, everybody, take care and see ya.